Hey, if you're never going to die, you can tune out right now. This isn't for you. However, if you're like the rest of us, from the day that we're born, we create a liability. From the day that we're born, we have an expiration date. It may not be the most pleasant thing to think about, but something that we all got to deal with at some point. So why do you need life insurance? For many different reasons. There's too many misnomers out there. They think it's too expensive. They can't qualify. They could do it later when they're older. A lot of different reasons. But the thing is, when is the best time to get life insurance? The two best times, right now. Second best time, when you don't need it. And the reason why I mean that is because you don't want to be caught in a position where you need it and you're not able to get it. So there's different types out there. There's a whole life insurance, which is a permanent coverage. That's something that lasts for your entire life. Typically, it's a little bit more expensive, but it locks in your rate. It builds up some cash value, and it's something that you know it's going to be guaranteed there for you whenever you pass away, so long as you maintain that policy. We also have a term that's called a term with return of premium, which means you're covered for a certain number of years for the fixed amount. After that time, if you didn't pass away, you actually get all of your money back. We also have indexed universal life policies. That's an IUL. So with an IUL, it builds up a lot and tracks alongside with an index. So when the market goes up and that particular index does well, it credits additional cash value to your account, and it can compound over time. And the best thing about this product, it's non-reportable tax-free income. And finally, number 4, we got the annuities. Annuities is actually a way to set up a lifetime income. It's an insurance product. Typically, it's a single premium. You roll over an existing product, which is your 401k and IRA. If you happen to have a lump sum of money, you roll that over. It builds up over the course of time. It protects you against all downside market risk. It provides you with upside market participation when it does well. And then also you can create a lifetime income with an annuity product. So let's get into the different reasons why you would need life insurance. The first thing is, this is something that everybody will need. It's called the final expense insurance. Final expense, which is also known as a whole life coverage, this will cover you for your entire lifetime. So at one point, whenever it is that you happen to pass away, if you have a final expense insurance in place, it'll take care of the burial, it'll take care of the cremation, it'll take care of the ceremonies, provide the family with a little bit of additional money to take care of whatever final arrangements they need to make. And the thing is, for a lot of people, they try to be very glib about it and they try not to put any thought into it and say, I don't need it. They can just bury me. They can just burn me in the backyard. However, someone's going to take care of it. Are you going to be proactive enough to be able to get a policy, get something in place, and have that taken care of for your families and your loved ones? People also get insurance. It's also called what's called a mortgage protection. So you happen to own a home. If you have an outstanding mortgage, what a mortgage protection does is you get it for a set number of years, typically tracking alongside with how many years you have remaining on the mortgage. It'll cover the full amount or a partial amount. And the thing is, if you pass away during that time, when you have the highest liability with your family and you pass away, the thing is, it pays off the mortgage. So this way they're going to be covered. You don't have to worry about them, struggling to figure out where they're going to live. Aside from dealing with the grief, the bills go on. They still got to take care of everything. So that's one way to protect your family with the mortgage protection. If you have children, there's always a need for life insurance. So the thing is, aside from the fact that you're no longer going to be around to be there and have the presence for them, the thing is you could leave them in a better financial position if you're no longer around. Obviously, there's the cost of just raising a child, as far as making sure that they're fed, they're taken care of, they have a roof over their heads, but also for a college education. If that's something that you value, you can put aside some money, get them a life insurance policy, and it's typically with a term policy. And if you happen to pass away during that time while they're still young, you have a peace of mind knowing that you're able to leave a lump sum of money for the long term. Here's another reason why it's a very underrated part, but it's the time to grieve. A lot of times when someone passes in the family, aside from the emotional part of having to deal with all that, there's travel involved. There's time when people need to take a little bit of time off of work. And during that time, there's a loss of income, there's a loss of wages, there's a loss of productivity. So during that period of time, if you were to be able to get them a little bit of extra insurance during that time, they're able to process this and deal with it, because look, death is a part of life, and for them to be able to have that little bit of extra comfort and that little bit of extra cushion that you thought and prepared for, that you leave them in a better spot. If you were to pass away unexpectedly and you had outstanding debts and liabilities and other financial obligations that you left behind for your family, who do you think is going to take care of that? Typically, it's going to be the people that you leave behind. Sometimes you're going to leave them with something that they need to take care of, and what if they don't have that money set aside because they've been counting on you as a breadwinner, or you as a big substantial provider financially, and if you're no longer around, what's going to happen with all that debt and liability? So this is one great way that you're able to protect your family with it. Just put a little bit of money aside, get an extra life insurance policy, or get a little bit of extra coverage, and make sure that part's taken care of for them. Now, you might just think people that don't have very much money or very much to leave behind for the family, this is typically why you need to get a life insurance policy, but that's actually not true. For a lot of wealthy and high net worth individuals, life insurance is a great tool and a great product for a lot of them to be able to meet their financial goals, even beyond what they're able to do physically while they're still around. Aside from just taking care of all the basic necessities such as final expense and mortgage protection, children's education, child rearing, all the other stuff that you would leave behind to take care of your outstanding financial debts, more importantly, this is actually a tool that actually helps you while you're still alive in a couple different ways. First of all, it can create generational wealth. You're able to pass on a legacy to your remaining loved ones. Second thing is it's called wealth transfer. You're able to take care of the taxes. You can transfer that money over to them tax-free, especially if you do it through estate planning, especially if you have a trust. And finally, most important is if you're still alive and you want to put aside a little bit of extra money. A lot of high net worth individuals happen to do this. They put into an insurance product. It's called an Indexed Universal Life Policy. With an Indexed Universal Life Policy, or an IUL, what it does, it gives you a little bit of insurance coverage, and you can customize that amount because it's a very flexible product. And then the thing is, you can also continue to build and track alongside with an index. So when the index does well, your cash value will continue to grow in value, and that continues to grow and compound over the course of time. If you have the luxury of time, the longer you have a policy, the more and more it's going to continue to grow potentially. So if you have that money, a lot of people, what they do with it is they overfund a policy. They're able to create that non-reportable tax-free income, and that's the best part about this. All that cash value that you can access, you can use it as a loan to yourself, and you don't have to pay it back if you choose not to, or you can actually continue to build it up over the course of time. And at a certain point, if you set it up correctly, it could be a supplemental income in addition to whatever you need for your retirement. And the final product that we're going to talk about today is just annuities. With an annuity, it's a lump sum. Typically, it's a single premium. We have other ones that you can set up through a payment if need be. But what it does, it provides you with protection from downside market risk. You get to participate in the market upside. And also, you're able to create a lifetime income. So you set it up after a certain period of time. Once you get it set up to the way that you like, it will set up an additional supplemental income in addition to whatever you happen to have. If any of this sounded a little too complicated for you, or you had any questions, reach out to one of our agents. We'd love to be able to help you out directly. We'll be able to tailor a plan specifically for what it is that you're looking for. We have a saying around here. The saying is, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and then not have it. We can't predict what happens. Tomorrow's never promised. The thing is, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have this part of our lives taken care of. It's not fun to talk about. It's not fun to think about. But the thing is, if you get something in place and you take care of some insurance specifically for what it is you're looking for life insurance, if you have that part set up, you never have to think about it again. You got that peace of mind knowing that you have that part taken care of for your families, for your loved ones, whoever you're leaving this money behind for. And you always have that peace of mind. And peace of mind is important in this life. Life is short. Let's make the most of it. If you have that peace of mind, you can go and thrive and do whatever it is, and you can count all your other blessings. Thank you, guys.